cracking, boys. And you better not say eggs. You better say something cool like skulls or the paint on my 2005 Chevrolet Silverado. That's not cool. To dizzle. In this hizzle, we are going to be talking about the top 3 Alaniz. You heard me correctly. The thing what you put your tires on the ground and spin them and whip it. For all of these runs, we're going to be running the Gravy Garage Beater JZX90. This thing is pimped out, man. Look at that. Look at all those cosmetic issues. That is what you want out of a drift car. Something you can beat up. And also the trunk flops around, so look out for that. So there's no real particular order for these, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a clip of me drifting the entire map, and then we're gonna come back to this nice view, and I'm gonna tell you why this map is sick as the intensive care unit in your local hospital. And then we're gonna give you a nice honorable mention, a little surprise track for you to try out at the end. In no particular order, number 1 is the Industrial Drift Park. If you've seen some of my other videos, I have included it, but here it is. Get a load of this beauty. So that was the Industrial Drift Park. I love the atmosphere of the map. I think it's really cool, like really industrial, hence the name. And there's like a super cool variety of turns and stuff, especially those like those little ramps that like spin around. Those are super fun. It's good to practice your left foot braking, especially once again on those ramps. You can really like dial it in and test out your left foot braking, see what it does. And then there's some tighter corners where you can apply a little more left foot braking, so, you know, to bring your nose in, come around that. So a lot of variety for practicing, and it can all be done in second gear. You don't have to worry about like changing all your gearings and stuff like that. It all depends on the car, of course, but most of the cars that I use can be done in second gear. The next map, the next track. I'm a FPS gamer, okay? So I'm trying to switch my mind. They should be called tracks, not maps. Tracks. All right, now I'm on track. Track number 2 is Alaniz Skid Park. It's either Alaniz or All Monies, because this track is all money, baby. Roll the clip.
out, watch out, watch out, watch out! KO! Here's the cover!
So once again, we saw a great variety from this track. There's some really, really long parts where you got to shift up into third, and there's some really, really tight parts that you have to brake into. Sometimes rip the e-brake. I love the e-brake, TBH. It feels so manly ripping the e-brake. I know it's not always the great thing to do, but it just is so fun. Another thing, it's got like clipping zones, so you can see where your car is supposed to line up, so you can practice, you know, actually hitting clipping zones and not just like doing the track and going wherever you decide to go. There's actual things to aim for, so it's been super helpful for practice that way. And once again, there's some actual gearing practice that you can do because there's that long stretch that goes down that kind of cool little ramp that you drop into. So you can shift up into third and really kind of give it some gas to get around that super long bend. This track is awesome. Moving on to our third track. Everybody knows this one. It's Drift Playground. This map is tried and true. If you followed another sim drifting channel on YouTube, you've probably already seen the map. It's freaking solid. It's more solid than liquid that has frozen. That came out of my mouth. It did. So yeah, a bunch of drifters, like that's where they learn. That's their bread and butter. It's really, really flowy, so it's like great for tandem practices. You can get a good pace going around the whole thing without having to just like friggin' mash on the gas all the time. So it's really flowy, pretty slow, and decent variety of like lengths of turns. You can do the whole thing in second gear, so you don't have to worry about focusing on shifting and stuff. You can worry more about your throttle control and your brake. And of course, Gangster Kermit is graffitied on the wall. Now, I don't condone the birdie finger. In fact, the opposite. I think the birdie finger is only useful in traffic situations, but Gangster Kermit is pretty gangster. So that's all that needs to be said on the matter. And now for your honorable mention. This is personally like my favorite track because it's where most people, or at least a lot of people, were introduced to drift. Who guessed it? Tokyo Drift. It's the Tokyo Drift track. So it's like the garage setting from Tokyo Drift. It's not called Tokyo Drift, it's called Underground Garage Tube. And I'll put all the links to these maps in the description. So what's not to like about a classic Tokyo Drift sweet map, dude? I'll tell you what's not to like. Nothing is not to like, because it's sick. This map is extremely good for practicing like really tight turns and ripping the e-brake for those tight turns because sometimes it's hard to get the weight transfer right. So you need to use the e-brake a lot. It just makes tight turns a lot easier to use the e-brake. There's obviously ways that you can not have to use it, but when I play Tokyo Drift, I'm ripping that e-brake. I just want you to rip that e-brake. That's from the move. I'm gonna move on to the next. There's a cool slalom. Those are always fun, and it's good to practice your throttle control with those slaloms. And of course, it's got the ramp, dude. The DK drifting up the corkscrew, sick ramp, dude, and then do some cookies at the top because that's just, it's the sickest. Those are my top 3 maps for some nice high octane ripping drifties. Let me know what you think about this list. If you have any other map recommendations, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like and a subscription, and I will see y'all later.